This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, December the 9th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look around the Alpha Skycam network, and there's a view from Trussville, and we see a good deal of fog, and fog somewhat spotty around the area, but there is a dense fog advisory until 9 a.m., so keep that in mind if you're headed out. And we don't see a lot of fog in the Jasper Skycam. I think there's a little bit over there on the horizon, but certainly the sun peeking through. We're still watching and dealing with this front that's off to our northwest, and that front is still progged to move through the area on Monday and produce showers and thunderstorms. And it looks like a marginally severe situation, with damaging wind being the main problem. We're watching the trough off to our northwest begin to sharpen up, as we've been forecasting for the last couple of days, and certainly that upper air feature will be the main one that we will be watching. Now this morning, temperatures some very, very mild. Keep in mind that the average high for this time of year is around 58 degrees, and a lot of temperatures in the central Alabama area are running from about 54 to 58. So these are actually values that are very close to where we should be for highs, and yet there are morning lows. Just a little bit warmer in the Tennessee River Valley, where I think the clouds and fog have helped keep things a little bit warmer. They're in the lower 60s. Now across the southeastern U.S., you can see a bit of the showers and thunderstorms that are running along the cold front that's off to our northwest. And the QPF-wise, we're looking at on the order of probably 3/4 to 1 1/4 inches in rain, coming primarily during the day, or let's just say Monday, from midnight till maybe 6 p.m., 7 p.m. on Monday, as the front moves through the area with what might be a bit of a squall line as a possibility, or at least a line. Now, the Storm Prediction Center is outlooking a slight risk from about Cape Girardeau, north of Memphis, down across much of the eastern and southern portions of Arkansas, the northwestern portion of Louisiana, into East Texas on day one. That's today. For Monday, they have gone from a C-Tex to a slight risk, covering the area from of North Georgia and northern half of Alabama into extreme eastern Mississippi. And again, it looks like the main threat is likely to be that of damaging wind, but it still is somewhat a marginal situation. Day three, the frontal system moves off, and they're dropping back from a slight risk to just a C-Tex. All right, the 06Z GFS model run this morning, and of course there is for today the upper air pattern, and we can see the rather strong trough that's over the Rockies, and a little bit of that coming out. We've got one piece of energy back in the vicinity of Four Corners, and then there's another little vorticity max coming out across and just to the west of the Great Lakes, and that is allowing plenty of moisture to come out of the Gulf for the southeastern U.S., so we're very, very moist, as you can tell from the fog. The trough digs into the central part of the United States on Monday, and that's going to be our big day. The front should come through with a surface low that moves out of the mid-Mississippi River Valley into the northeastern U.S. and dragging that cold front down through the area. And the GFS and the European in very good agreement. This is both at 18Z or noon on Monday, both in really good agreement on where things are going to go. Now, as to the possibility of severe weather, most of the models are showing relatively low capes, but if you look at the LIs, the lifted index, we do see that there's a narrow band of some values that are -2 to -3, so they're not especially strong, but there is just enough evidence that maybe there might be enough downward transfer of momentum to allow for some damaging winds to occur with these storms. And of course we may see some lightning too. And also looking at the NAMS Cape values, the NAMS a little bit more aggressive, but still not terribly high with the values. And this is around 14Z, and you can see that the values across Alabama generally below about 6 to 700 or below, so the value's not just especially high, but still there is some small risk. And of course, we did see yesterday one isolated thunderstorm in North Mississippi that actually produced some damaging wind, some hail, and they issued some warnings on it. All right, moving along on the GFS, this is 18Z on Tuesday, and we can see that we've still got the part of the energy coming across or coming out of the southern Rockies, and that certainly has, with the flow, the front has moved out into the Atlantic with the main energy that has moved up into extreme eastern Canada with that surface low up there. And then by Wednesday, of course, that trough is coming out of the southern plains, and that will bring, as you can see from the thicknesses, that will bring a very chilly day to the area on Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday looking to be quite chilly with good, strong cold air advection. When we get to Thursday, we're beginning to get under the ridge, and that's very interesting because we warm up very, very quickly. If you take a look at thickness values, you see the 540, which was down in the vicinity of northern Mississippi and northern Alabama. That 540 line has just zipped northward and is up into the Great Lakes. So certainly a quick warm-up with this situation. So we should see temperatures climb back to the near 60 value, which is a little above where we typically are this time of year. By Friday, we're now watching the next system begin to take shape off to our west. As you can see that we have kind of a very convoluted system with a little shortwave trough in the vicinity of New Mexico, another one back over the Oregon, and then we still have another one up in the Dakotas. So very, very mixed pattern. By Saturday, we see one of them ejecting out across the Great Lakes, and then the other two hanging back a little bit, and that once again is a surface low, and that may be dragging a front down into our area on Saturday. So it looks like we'll have to introduce, or we have showers in the forecast for Saturday. Doesn't look like a real sure bet like it has been looking in the past. And then the two systems keep on chugging eastward, one reaching the New York area, New York and Pennsylvania area, and the second one coming across Oklahoma. And of course that would probably, because of the lack of moisture in our area, that would keep most of the showers and thunderstorms down across the Gulf Coast area where moisture would still be deep enough to help to produce showers and thunderstorms. Now, voodoo has changed over. Yesterday we were looking at what appeared to be a much colder pattern, but now the GFS has gone back to a more zonal flow. And, you know, we see this all the time with the flipping and flopping of the models out that far out in voodoo country. But this is Wednesday the 19th, and you can see it's a very zonal flow, so not much to write home about there as far as either, this is kind of a mild pattern. And then we get to the 24th, and once again, it looks like a slight southwesterly flow pattern. So this is Christmas Eve, and certainly looks like that would be somewhat of a warm pattern. So while we were looking yesterday at a colder pattern, it doesn't look like that's shaping up now. But again, hold on. Maybe tomorrow it'll flip back. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. James Spann should be back in the saddle with the next one first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, I hope your Sunday is a good one, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.